100 Men Who Cook. Interesting concept. It's a fundraiser. Let's find out about that in this edition of WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Kelly Newman. Kelly is the coordinator for the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund. Also joining us is Tom Krodel. And Tom is the regional president, right, of Old National Bank.
That is correct.
But you're associated with 100 Men Who Cook, but we'll find out about that in a moment. First of all, this event is a fundraiser which will occur in September, and the reason you're doing this is to raise money for the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund. And Kelly, can you tell us, what is the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund?
The Indiana National Guard Relief Fund is a not-for-profit organization that was created to assist Indiana National Guard members who have experienced a financial hardship as a result of their military service or an unexpected extreme situation such as an illness or disaster relief.
Do people apply for that fund, or is it just you know that somebody's having trouble so you help them out?
Yes, then the people who need help will call a family assistance center to get help, and then they will let them know, give them an application for the relief fund. They will fill it out, send it to us, and then it goes to a committee. And it gets approved or denied based on if it meets the requirements of the fund, and then we grant them assistance.
Okay, now let me ask you what would be a hard question, I guess. Why does this need exist? Aren't they being helped through the military? But there's probably things beyond that.
Well, for the National Guard, many members are regular citizens living out in the communities, and in 1 week a month they will go to an armory, do military service. After 9/11, the War on Terror started, the National Guard was called up to really go overseas and was utilized a lot. So Indiana has around 14,000 National Guard members, but over 21,000 of them have deployed. So many have deployed numerous times to go over and do their rotation overseas.
And many of them have gone more than what anybody would have thought they would have had to go.
Yes.
And so that's a hardship on the family, not only mentally, but financially.
Yes, this happened. There was an engineer working out in a civilian job who was called up to serve. He was making six-figure income, and then he's like, yes, I'll go. And he went down, probably like his military income was half of what he was making. And during that time, the family experienced, I think, a large home repair and just didn't have the extra money to cover that. So the relief fund kind of started as a result of that, and when we came in and paid for it to get fixed and took care of the family back home.
Obviously, then there is a very important need and a very important program that money is being raised. So we have 100 Men Who Cook. Tom, what is the concept of 100 Men Who Cook?
Well, basically, Bill, where the 100 Men Who Cook started was about 8 years ago in our Terre Haute region. The individual who was region president served on the Children's Museum Board of Directors. The Children's Museum was just starting. It was low on funding, and the individual had seen this concept in his home community in Wisconsin, and he thought, I'm going to give it a try. So generally speaking, he had the fundraiser, got 100 guys together, tried to see if he thought this concept would work. He basically found out that it was an explosive fundraising event. It's great for two reasons. Number one, it brings a lot of key people in the community together for a cause. And the second thing it does, it provides a lot of nice funding for organizations, and he found that out. It has since grown to where a lot of the regions of Old National host the events. A few years back, it was suggested that more regions start these. We formed a committee here in the Jasper region, and ultimately selected the Indiana National Guard as our organization we're going to benefit. And we decided to host an event, and we're set for September 6th of this year.
Okay, let's talk about the date then. September 6th, from when to when, where, the logistics of it.
The event is going to be held September 6th. It's going to be held over at the Huntingburg Event Center, a great building for this type of an event. It's going to start at 6 o'clock in the evening. The event probably will be over somewhere about 10 o'clock that evening. Generally speaking, the event's going to be a casual event. It's a fun event. It's meant to have a good time, raise a lot of money, eat a lot of good food, And then, of course, afterwards, after the eating is done, we're going to have both a live and a silent auction to, continue raise funds for the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund.
Okay, now the food is going to be served. So really, how does the eating part go? Because you mentioned food. How does the food get distributed?
Well, generally speaking, we have about 100 chefs at this point, and they basically have a category to choose from. They can choose from an appetizer, a main dish, a soup or salad, a dessert. If they have a favorite candy or any type of appetizer mix that they make, they select that. Then what they are told to do is they have to make enough for 25 full servings of whatever they make. Okay. Then the chefs will cook it. They'll bring it into the event. They'll take what they have prepared. They'll put it in appetizer portions. And then basically they serve it to the individuals who are in attendance that come around and, desire, the type of dish that they make.
Kind of like a sampling, and you can sample as much or as little as you want.
That is correct. You can sample as much and or as little as you desire. And of course, one of the ways, to pay the chefs back is each chef will have a tip jar in front of them. The individual who has the most tips in at the end of the evening, of course all those tips go to the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund, so the individual who has the most tips in his jar that evening will be awarded, as we are tabulating everything that evening, they'll be awarded the Golden Spatula as the key chef for the 100 Men Who Cook event that year, and we're looking forward to the event.
Okay, and then the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund benefits from that.
Yes.
And I guess anybody that ever wanted to just make a donation, they can also do that, right?
Yes.
Is there a website or a contact for?
They can get information on how to donate by calling our office.
Okay. And what's the phone number off the top of your head?
Yes, it is 317-247-3300 and then extension 85461.
Okay. Tom, are tickets available? Can people still? How does that?
Yes, tickets are available. They can be purchased at this point through my office. The individual you would need to contact there is Denise Schnell. You can do that two ways. You can do it at denise.schnell@oldnational.com through her email. Our telephone number is 634-5299.
Okay, and what kind of food is going to be sampled?
Generally speaking, we have, it's interesting. It is, you can tell it's a guy cooking event because we have a lot of protein and we have a lot of desserts. Really don't have a lot of green. Have a few soups. Some guys are making soups, but our meats, range anywhere from, what you would expect, pulled pork, brisket, to, individuals bringing like wild boar and pheasant, for the game side. And then also a lot of desserts. We've got guys that are bringing, pineapple upside down cakes to homemade ice creams to root beer floats. So, it's a great event because it's going to be a lot of protein and a lot of sweets.
Okay, and if people are worried about the greens part, well, there's pineapple upside down cake. Pineapple counts as a fruit.
That is correct.
Counts as part of your plate. Just take a lot of it.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Or, as most guys say, hopefully there won't be any green on the meat. But if there is, that's green part of it too. So yeah. But no, we're looking forward to a great event.
Okay, and I know that I'm going to be one of the chefs. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll take a lot of work on that day. People won't be able to buy tickets probably at the door because you're going to sell out. You're getting close.
We're really, really happy with the response that we've gotten, both from the individuals who have volunteered to be chefs, from the individuals who have come forth and are helping sponsor this event, to the individuals who have purchased tables. We figure we've worked with Kate at the event center, and we figure that we'll be able to put somewhere between 70 and 75 tables there. We're probably in the mid-60s in table sales now. So yes, we're getting very close, and if you want a seat, the best thing to do is probably call Denise or email her and get your reservation in early.
Okay, and this is coming up September 6th. And we'll be talking more about it and hearing more about it on the radio and in the paper and on TV to remind you. But if you want to get a ticket, you need to call now. How much is a ticket?
Tickets range, you can buy a table of 8 for $450, or you can buy individual tickets at $60 each.
Okay. Is there anything either of you'd like to add about the event?
The one thing I'd like to add is I'd like to talk a little bit about, you know, our other sponsors of the event, if I could have that opportunity. We have different levels of sponsorship, and I'd just like to give these individuals their kudos. At our top level, our chef sponsors, we have WITZ, Thermwood, Ewing Properties, Best Home Furnishing, Versteel, and the French Lick Resorts. In our executive level sponsorship, we have BR Associates, OFS Brands, Infrastructure, Jasper Engines and Transmissions, Cypher Construction, DC Broadcasting. You have been very nice.
WJTS.
Right. Your Story Photography, FC Tucker, Hedinger Beverage, and Memorial Hospital. Our Sioux sponsors are IU Health, Paoli, Rooksor Ford, Hoosier Uplands, United Minerals, Nante Chiropractic, Air Ride Technologies, 39 Degrees North, and Cook Development, Holiday World, and Nante and Company LLC. And I think one thing that is really important is you know, we picked out the National Guard Relief Fund as the sponsor of this event for basically the reason that, you know, they give us so much. As Kelly says, the families have you know, lost either the husband, wife, or the significant wage earner. They've went overseas, give a lot of time. They help with natural disasters in our area. They give us so much when we're in need. You know, it's great to give back. We have found out through this process, and I think if you would talk to any of the chefs, Bill, you be included, the presentation that the Relief Fund gives at the chef meetings, I think has shown the real reason and the real need of why we're hosting this event. I think it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you would like to participate, as I said, not only can you still buy a table or purchase individual tickets, but we are having a live and silent auction. If you would like to donate something to that, please also just get in touch with Denise, and she'll be glad to take care of you.
Okay. And Kelly, what does this mean to the Indiana Relief Fund?
Oh, this is awesome. We're just so grateful to Old National for supporting the Relief Fund and for all the sponsors that have jumped on board. This is going to be a fabulous event, and many community organizations and individuals and companies over the years have, you know, sent in donations that have helped us continue to meet families. And thanks to them, we have been able to provide $2.7 million in assistance to our National Guard families, and that is just phenomenal, and we could not do it without organizations like Old National jumping in and helping.
Well, good luck, and I hope you get many funds off of this event and continue your great work. Thanks to both of you for coming in.
Thank you.
Our guests have been Kelly Newman. She is the coordinator for the Indiana National Guard Relief Fund, and also we have had with us Tom Krodel. He is the Jasper Regional President for Old National Bank. Thank you for watching WJTS Inform. We are local people watching local people.